Hi, this is Crystal and I am off to Shambhala here on YouTube, and this is Reseller Shop Talk. If you are new to my channel, this is where I talk about various different subjects and a little bit about what's going on in my reselling journey. Maybe share a few tips, ideas, concepts, those kinds of things. But mostly I just want to let you know I mostly sell on eBay, but I do sell on Amazon, Craigslist, or wherever opportunity presents itself. But I do prefer to sell on eBay for many reasons. So first up, I finally made my first dumpster dive score. I've been wanting to since I basically got started in doing this seriously. Wanted to do dumpster diving, like just to experience it, even if I didn't do it on a regular basis. Just wanted to give it a whirl. Excuse me. And so I finally got a dumpster dive score, and this is what I got. These are IKEA magazine racks, the Spontan magazine racks. I think that's how you would say that. They're about 30 inches tall, so that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt for shipping if I happen to sell them on eBay. But I am going to be listing them on Craigslist, and we'll see what happens with those. They were free, and I think I can get probably $25 for them, maybe $30, and maybe at least profit. My goal is to at least net $20 on these things, because I'm going to have to Frankenbox them, and what's going to happen is somebody's going to pay me $20 to box these things up and ship them to them. So they're paying for a service is what they're doing. But IKEA does not sell these online. I know I've heard people talking about going to IKEA for retail arbitrage and getting things that they don't sell online, that you can only get at an actual IKEA. And there's a lot of places that aren't anywhere near an IKEA. So if you want one of these, you got to go on eBay. And a lot of the sellers of these things on eBay are selling them for pretty, like $20 for a single one is the cheapest I've seen. And they do seem to sell. And I've sold magazine racks, and there's a real interest for magazine racks. So if you see magazine racks and it looks like something that you're willing to deal with, if it happens to be maybe a larger magazine rack, or even smaller ones, there's an interest in them. They're not big money, but there is an interest. So, and there may be, I have not done research, there may be certain magazine racks that are in high demand that you can get good money for. I don't know what they are, but who knows, maybe there are some. Now, okay, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, then I'm kind of mad at myself because I keep getting stuff like this. And then I take it home and it sits there. And I don't like stuff like this that you have to test. I always do this. Like when I get stuff that I have to test, I'll bring it home and it sits there it could sit for a long time, but come hell or high water, I'm going to test this thing out today. Now this new sells for $150 on eBay. One just recently sold brand new in the box, $150. And they go for let's just say the $50 range used. And it's like, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. And it was only like $2 at Savers. So yeah, and then I looked it up and I'm like, yeah, $50. So I, of course, picked it up and I'm hoping it works. But I might be able to sell it for parts if I can't quite get it to work. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm mad at myself because I procrastinated, and I need to stay on top of these things. And how's it been going, like, for my store? Like, things are selling. My money is down a little bit because I was a little depressed last week, and I really wasn't listing. But you know what? I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. If I'm going to be in this game, I'm going to be in the game. Like, I just have to get up and get stuff listed before I do anything else. So even before I did this video, I listed a couple things. And then I didn't want to list anything else. I'm like, I'm going to make a video. But as soon as this is done, I'm going to test my speakerphone. I've got this hair dryer, one of those big egg hair dryer things that goes over your head. It's actually really cool looking. I think I showed it in a haul video. I got to test that out, and so those are going to be my next two things that I'm working on. Okay, and I tend to do like 5 things at a time. I just find that I like to work in like little bites, like 5 things at a time, even with clothing. With clothing, you know, I kind of like to do 10, but I'll end up like, I'll hit like the 5th thing. I'm like, it's good enough. I'll go load up these pictures and sit down. And I don't like to do any one thing for a long period of time. But the advantage to, if you do like 30 pictures in the morning, then you've got the rest of the day, all of your pictures are ready, and then you can just sit there and list. You know, it's like, there's pluses and minuses to however you do it, but the way I've been doing it is approximately 5 things at a time. Like, take the picture, and then go list, and then go put it away. That kind of thing. Or if it needs testing or cleaning, you know, before I take the pictures, I'll do that too. But back to money. When I say my money is down, I am just under the $2,000 mark for the last 30 days. However, most of my sales have calculated shipping, and I'm talking about the number that shows up on eBay for what you've done in the last 30 days. And so I think that number's down because if you do free shipping, it will include shipping. And one of the reasons why I'm not doing free shipping anymore is because I want that number to really reflect more of what my take is. I feel like it's inflated if it's including shipping. Like, it gives you this inflated sense that you're doing better than you are. Like, it would probably be like $2,300 or something like that if I included shipping. So anyways, now, okay, I found this really interesting video by a guy named Tim Bennett, who's the deputy editor of Money Week. And there will be a link to this video that I'm referring to down below, and I thought it was great. I saw this like a couple months ago, and I took notes, and I'm like, I'm going to have to talk about this one of these days. So today is the day. And he was talking about Warren Buffett's model of a solid company. And I'm like, reselling is the same thing as Warren Buffett's model of a solid company. So if anybody tries to tell you that what you're doing is not a real business or whatever, think again. You can just be like, you can think whatever you want, you know. And I know most people probably say that to themselves. It's like, fine, think whatever you want. Go have fun and showing up at your job for $10 an hour or $12 an hour and getting yelled at by your boss and hoping they give you extra hours and da-da-da-da-da. For a lot of people that are in those types of situations. I know not everybody is, but I think there really are a lot of people that they're just at the mercy of, like, maybe they'll give me more hours. I wish they would give me more hours, you know, like I've worked at a lot of places like that. It's like, I don't want to wait around and hope they give me extra hours. I need to do something now. Like, I can't wait around for them. Anyways, but, you know, they're looking down at what I'm doing now, you know, but I'm like, I'm doing so much better than I was before, and I'm happier for the most part. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to the topic. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent there. So Warren looks for companies that have a cheap price on their stock and are a solid company. Well, that doesn't take a genius. Like, yes, of course, I want something that is cheap and it's quality. Who doesn't want that? Like, of course, that's a good investment. Like, that doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But the hard part is to identify a solid company. So what makes a solid company, according to Warren Buffett? First on the list is a high ROI with low debt. I think many resellers are doing really good with their ROI, and they have gotten into their business with very little to no debt. And you can build it up with like virtually no debt. So reselling qualifies right there. I mean, if I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people that resell stuff on eBay, well, the ROI, you just can't beat it, like predictable earnings. Even on eBay, I think, you get your store to a point, and you get to a point where you're finding certain things that you do have predictable earnings. Like right now, my predictable earnings are a solid $2,000 a month gross. And last month I did almost $3,000, not quite. I'm down a little bit from last month, but that's my own fault because I have not been pushing myself to list. And so right now, and I know that with some more effort, I can get those numbers up. And I know there's plenty of people they're like, yeah, I typically do, $5,000-$6,000 a month, or other people typically do 10 or 12. For whatever reason, they figured out a way to get their numbers up to that point. Now, maybe that's not their net, but it's still, they're doing this month after month after month. Now, also, I want to say that with any company, whether you're Target or any other organization, you could have what's considered predictable earnings, but there's never a guarantee, no matter what business you're in, no matter how big you are, how popular you are, But if you have these other factors going on, if you have all of these factors, it makes your company, your business solid. And cash flow from profits. Do I need to say more? That goes along with the ROI. Constant cash flow. Now, if you are a person that's maybe selling $2,000 art pieces that are, and maybe you sell 1 to 3 of them a month on eBay or wherever you're selling them, and then maybe you might have 1 month where you don't sell anything. I don't know if that would be considered good cash flow or not, but I mean, certainly good profit if you're doing less transactions but for higher dollar amounts. But I think if you've been selling on eBay, you love that daily cash flow from profits. And the business should be understandable to you. Now, I think eBay is a pretty easy business to understand. And so if you are looking to invest in the stock market, you probably want to look at businesses you understand, according to Warren Buffett. So that doesn't necessarily make a company solid, but if the company is understandable to you, you have a better idea of whether they are solid or not, because you understand their business. So maybe if you work in the air mechanic, you're an airplane mechanic or a pilot, you're probably pretty well aware of what's going on in the industry, and you have a certain level of awareness about airline companies. So maybe airline companies would be good for you to invest in. Or you could look at them and go, hell no, I'm not investing in those. And then also, the company should have a strong brand with pricing power. Now, I think we all understand as eBay resellers that brand is huge, and that's what we do. If you're not overly niched, I mean, I suppose you could niche in one brand, like there's people that just sell Supreme, but they're depending on, that's a strong brand, like AT&T, this phone, it's a strong brand. IKEA, strong brand. Pottery Barn stuff, strong brand. Sony, strong brand. we can be out there finding all of these different strong brands and selling them, and that's how most people that are successful on eBay are selling things based on the brand. Same thing with a lot of the Amazon sellers. So we're sort of, we may not necessarily have our own strong brand, but we are reselling brands that we've already identified as being strong. And then the pricing power, I'm not really sure exactly how to describe that. I have sort of a loose sense of what that means. If you've got a strong brand that people want, then you don't have to be the low-ball price on something. So, for example, the store brand at Costco of laundry detergent sells for $20 for the big, huge container. But Tide, with its strong brand, sells their stuff all day long for $35, and I've seen it because I've worked at Costco. People love Tide. I've sold laundry detergent before, and I've got like some pretty good product at a low price, and people are like, nope, I love my Tide, and they pick it up or whatever. There might be another one, but people really love that Tide. Anyways, I'm always surprised at how much Tide costs, but that is pricing power right there. Tide laundry detergent, that's probably the best example of pricing power. And so that's, again, why an AT&T speakerphone, business system speakerphone like this one that I have here is going to sell for $50, $60 used versus maybe one that is not an AT&T branded phone. You might be lucky to get $25 for it, I don't know if it's just the brand with AT&T, but that helps, or if it's just this particular phone people know and love and like. But AT&T does have that reputation as having good quality phones, kind of like Sony was the shizzle for a long time, and right now, iPhone, Samsung, and LG are the shizzle, and everybody's always comparing them and for phones and stuff. But there might be some other brand of phone, and people are like, whatever, not that they don't have their own pricing power, but I think, also the key to investing, this is sort of away from reselling, to investing, well, maybe it is kind of related to reselling. Investing in stocks is to find the companies that really aren't getting all the attention, and they are solid, and maybe their brand isn't as big, but it's sort of up and coming, and they have a lot of other aspects to them that are, like, it's still recognizable, but it's not like Tide. Because, the super strong brands are probably already higher priced stocks. But it's hard. It seems like, what, actually, I'm thinking about investing in eBay, actually. I don't know where they're at. I haven't really been following their stock. And what else was I going to say? There was something else. But I guess that also applies to, how that whole idea of a strong brand applies to reselling is sometimes there's brands, like everybody knows Gucci, but does everybody know Alberto Macaulay? Or everybody knows Ferragamo by now, but do people know about Soft Surroundings? Now, Soft Surroundings is not Ferragamo, but it's a good seller, and you can get higher dollar amounts for soft surrounding clothing items. What's another brand that I don't think a lot of people are aware of? There was another one on the top of my head that whatever. I noticed that at the thrift stores, they don't know Alberto Macaulay, they don't know Soft Surroundings, so they always price those things as regular prices, and then they'll have some Nike dry fit thing, $9.99. It's like, you got to be fucking kidding me! I can hardly sell Nike anymore. It has to be a certain kind of Nike, And I can't even give it away for like, $7. I'm like, I just need to get rid of this thing. It's like $7. Nobody wants it. There was a time when like pretty much anything Nike like sold. Like not anymore. I think it's there's too much of it to choose from out there. There's too much supply. Oh, but it's killing me now. I want to know what that other brand is that I was going to mention. I can't remember. But yeah, if you know some of these brands that are not really well known by a lot of others, but there's a mark. Oh, I know. Calypso St. Barth. I picked up a Calypso St. Barth shirt at the bins. And I sold it for like $35. The woman didn't like it. Well, she liked it, but it didn't fit her, she said. So she sent it back, and I'm like, okay, well, so then I raised the price to $40, and it sold right away. Calypso St. Barth, check out their website and keep an eye out for their stuff. Okay, if you're a clothing seller anyways, and they typically sell women's. I don't think they even do men's. So anyways, yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this whole Warren Buffett model of a solid company thing and how the business of reselling on eBay definitely fits his model of a solid company. So there you go. Oh, and I just want to say also that I'm like, why is everybody making all these defensive videos about like what kind of car I drive and I'm making stuff up and and everybody's like been joking around about this stuff, and then I finally found the video. Some asshole made some video putting down all of these longtime resellers that have been making quality videos and giving really good advice, and he's like totally dissing them and saying that they're full of baloney and putting down the whole business. Whatever. And you know what? And it just, whatever. Because you know what? The thing is if you don't believe that you can make money doing this, like when we're showing you stuff that we are selling, if you find stuff like that and you try to sell it, you're going to be able to sell it, and that's how you will know. And that's how I knew that GillDaddy was not full of shit, because GillDaddy, I tried doing eBay with just some random stuff, and like hardly anybody was interested in my stuff, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a lot of stuff, but I was like, I don't know if I can figure this all out. And then I saw GillDaddy's videos. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll try some of that stuff. I went out and got a bunch of that stuff, collected some stuff like their stuff around my house. Stuff was selling. The stuff they said sells, I bought it, I sold it too. That's how you know. If you don't believe it, you put it to the test. It's very scientific, actually. Anyways, so thanks so much for listening. And thanks again to any of my subscribers and people that have come back to listen to me again. I really appreciate it. And please leave a comment below. I'd love to say hello. Or if you have a video, leave a link to one of your videos. If you're a reseller content creator, I would love to get to know you through your videos and take a look at those. And maybe other people that might happen upon this will see your link and check you out too. So have a great day and go kick some butt, and I'll check in with you guys next week. Bye.